Or not, it may be coming, and it could happen in a big way if tonight's advance poll numbers are any indication of voter engagement this election. More than 2 million Canadians voted over the holiday weekend. That's more than 34% higher than the number who voted early in the last election. What's more, Friday and Monday were the busiest days of advance voting ever. Today, that prospect of a big shift in the political landscape was beginning to make waves on Bay Street. And the idea that the NDP could make big gains, and perhaps not just in Quebec, is causing a veritable rewiring of the political mind in Canada. Keith Bogue has more on this tonight. Keith.
Peter, suddenly an election campaign that seemed in search of a storyline has transformed itself into a race of potentially historic importance. It's now possible to envision outcomes that were unthinkable at the start of this campaign or any other. The surprise of a perceived surge by Jack Layton and the NDP, particularly in Quebec, has caught many off guard, especially on Bay Street. In a note to clients, BMO's Deputy Chief Economist Douglas Porter said this morning that polls showed the NDP could finish the election in second place, ahead of the Liberals, and rob the Conservatives of a majority. He added, while that's certainly an interesting result, it's not exactly market-friendly. In other words, hang on to your hats. The NDP has traditionally squared off against banks. In this campaign, it's promising to put a 5% cap on credit card interest rates. But that wasn't what Layton chose to emphasize today.
We're talking about investing in infrastructure, something that the bank economists themselves has said is very vitally important for business growth.
As Layton's appeal appears to grow, he has less interest in differentiating himself from Liberals this campaign. His goal instead is to replace them as the alternative to government. And some pollsters find it credible that the NDP could become the official opposition.
The NDP is still surging. They're still moving up.
This orange crush, which has gripped Quebec, is now showing evidence of taking a foothold in significant other parts of the country.
We are still seeing the political landscape looking extremely different next week.
Voters may wake up to something they thought simply could not happen in this country, says political scientist Nelson Wiseman.
We've never had the NDP in second place. We've never had a Social Democratic Party in second place. They've often been sometimes in fifth place. Well, that's a tectonic shift.
For the NDP to finish second in a national election is a big deal. For them to become the leading Federalist Party in Quebec, also a big deal. To do both those things in a single campaign would make Monday's vote historic. Peter.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. Keith Bogue here in Toronto tonight.